Hi, I'm Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to continue with my series entitled Rhythm Exercises. This series looks at blues guitar rhythmic phrasing within a 12-bar structure. First, I'll perform rhythm exercise in E, number 10, then I'll break it down for you. Here we go. I hope you enjoy it. All right, let's break down rhythm exercise in the key of E number 10. We'll be going back and forth from lead guitar to rhythm guitar accompaniment within the span of a 12-bar blues. The 6 2-bar phrases will alternate between this lead and rhythm, and we'll be using the same exact rhythm for each lead guitar phrase. The rhythm is triplet 2 and triplet 1. And then at that point, we'll enter into the rhythm guitar part, which is sometimes referred to as the Chuck Berry or Jimmy Reed style accompaniment. It generally sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... But we'll be extending our lead guitar into the rhythm guitar measure. So we'll be chopping that first eighth note. So we'll be playing lead guitar triplet 2 and triplet 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so we'll enter on the and of 1. So we'll be chopping that first eighth note of the rhythm guitar. So we'll be going back and forth between the lead guitar and rhythm guitar using that rhythm, and we'll be utilizing one scale specifically in this example, and it's going to be the E major pentatonic. And we'll be using for those of you who know Cage, the A form fingering, and that's located around the 7th fret. So we're going to also add a passing tone to the major pentatonic to make it a little easier to use. We're going to add what's called a major blue note. So technically, this is a 6-note scale with the inclusion of the major blue note. Now, this passing tone is the flatted 3 or the minor 3rd, and so the pattern looks like this. So that is the A form of the major pentatonic with the passing tone. So now that we've talked about the rhythm and the scale, let's go to part 1. Triplet 2 and triplet 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So we're going to start with a double stop here, and these 2 notes are in the major pentatonic and they're also in the E triad. So if you study triads a little bit, you might recognize the full E bar chord here. But the top part of that bar chord looks like this. And we're just doing the top 2 notes. So those are in the pentatonic and the chord, and we're giving it a little bit of an approach slide. We're playing this with the triplet, then coming down the pentatonic. So, and then we have our next triplet using that passing tone, triplet, and then back down. And then we're going to jump here, and this is the 5th of our scale, or the 5th of the chord if you like. See how it's in the chord. And then we're going to end on the root E. So the first triplet, and then 8th notes, 2 and. Our next 2 triplets, and then ending on the root. So it's a good idea to begin or end on chord tones. That helps state the chord. After we play the lead guitar, we go down to the rhythm guitar, and it starts on the and of 1, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And so that's your typical blues pattern. So let's hear it one more time. On to part 2. Triplet 2 and triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're going to start out with a bend into the E7th chord. If you imagine an E7th chord like this, the 7th is located here, and we're actually bending to that note. Even though it's not in the major pentatonic scale, it is in the chord. So we're bending a half step, and then not bent, and then, so that's our first triplet. And then we're going to do a finger roll on 2 and, and then we have a hammer-on between the 7th and 9th fret. So this is a hammer-on into the 3rd of the chord E. And then again, and we end on the root E. So again, we're ending on a chord tone. Again. So we dropped down into the accompaniment after the lick. On to part 3. Triplet 2 and triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we're taking advantage of our extra passing tone here, the G natural. We're going to start on that note because it is a chord tone of the 4 chord A7. So at this point in our progression, we're on the A7. If you imagine like an A7 bar chord like that, there's a 7 right there, that's the G, and we're going to start on that note with a pull off. So our first triplet is triplet, and then 2 and then this triplet starts sort of a descending sequence, triplet, and then we go to our comping note, which is now moved to A. Let's put that together. Now, on to the next phrase. Triplet 2 and triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the first triplet uses the passing tone again as an approach. So I'm going to use my index finger for both of these notes. Triplet, and then 2 and, and this triplet has a pull off from pinky to index, triplet, the next triplet, triplet, and then I end on G sharp, which is the major third of my E chord. So again, I'm ending on a chord tone, and then I go over to the comping and I'm back to E here, and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's put that together. Here's part 5. Triplet 2 and triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're going to start the first triplet on an F sharp, and that is a chord tone of B7. That's our 5 chord. So at this point in the progression, we're on the 5 chord, B7, and the triplet starts on the F sharp triplet. And then we're going to bend to a D sharp, and that's a whole step bend from the 9th fret, and that is the major third of the B chord. So we're really trying to outline the B chord here. So we're bending to the D sharp, and that's beat 2, and here's and that's a B, so 2 and then we're coming down the major pentatonic there, and so this is our triplet, 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 and then I'm ending on the root B, triplet, triplet, and then I go to the comping here. The comping is the pattern moved for B, and it's here at the 7th fret. I guess you could do it at the 2nd fret, but I find it more comfortable here because it's right where I'm playing already. So let's put that together one more time. On to the last phrase. Here's part 6. Triplet 2 and triplet, triplet 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So we're going to start off with a hammer-on. This is the 5th of our chord, so it's a chord tone again, and we're hammering on a whole step away within the scale, so triplet, and then we have a half step bend here. This is sort of a bluesier choice. We're not really bending into the chord, but we are bending into that minor third, and it sounds bluesy. So half step bend, 2 and, so bent, not bent, and then the next triplet, triplet, and then the last triplet with a pull off, and then we're going to end on the root E, and then down to the accompaniment. Let's put that together. That's it for a rhythm exercise in the key of E number 10. I'm Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music, and I hope to see you back on my channel soon.